I've relocated because in my last review, my little one was just far too loud and I couldn't think about what I was trying to say. Anyway, last year I listened to 7 or 8 audiobooks, and it was my first year of listening to them, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would have an autobiography on in the car. I'd listen to it driving to and from town and taking the wife to work and back. This year, this is the first one I've listened to, and there were many reasons behind choosing it, and it's this one, which is Life is Fighting by Karrion Kross, real name Kevin Robert Kesar. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to read this was because I had started to become a big fan of Karrion Kross. I watched WWE, and I had seen the work that he was doing in the behind the scenes, backstage, getting in everybody's head, messing with them psychologically. And I just knew that even as popular as he was, and the crowd were literally chanting "We want Kross" on several occasions, I just had this feeling that they were going to release him and Scarlett, his wife. And I knew because WWE lately, when they've released somebody, they've put them on TV a bunch, and then they're gone. Braun Strowman, it happened with him. Dakota Kai, it happened with her. She was going for the Intercontinental title 2 or 3 times, and then she disappeared, and then she was released. And it really frustrates me. So I was gutted when I was confirmed to be right. Nothing makes sense about their release at all, but, you know, sometimes WWE just doesn't make sense. Sometimes. The other reason was I wanted to read it because I wanted to get more of an insight into the man behind Karrion Kross, because what I'd seen was very intelligent stuff. Like, a lot of the acting in WWE is very cheesy. It's very tongue-in-cheek. Sometimes the continuity doesn't make any sense. But what I'd seen from Karrion Kross was very intelligent. Not to say any of the other ones are stupid, but, you know, I mean, this was like next level forward thinking, psychological warfare. If he was trying to get into one of the wrestlers' heads, he would wear his hair in the same style. So they were sort of mirroring each other. When he had a match with AJ Styles, he wore the same gear as AJ Styles, which he doesn't normally wear tights. He usually wears trunks, and all these little things. But it was just so annoying that they released them both. So annoying. You learn a lot about Kevin and his wife Elizabeth in this. He talks about his early days when he was bare knuckle fighting, and doing a lot of bouncer work in Vegas. He talks about his issues controlling his anger. He basically doesn't like bullies and doesn't let them get away with it. For example, he went after a guy who badmouthed one of his favourite waitresses at one of his favourite places to eat, and he threw him through an entire glass cabinet. He heard somebody bad-mouthing his sister and her sexuality, so he ripped a chunk of hair from his scalp. He's been in some very violent bar fights as a bouncer trying to sort it out. He doesn't like bullies. We learn about how he met his wife, Elizabeth, who on screen is obviously Scarlett Bordeaux, and how she sort of got him into a more spiritual side of things. And we learn about his WWE signing. He'd been doing the independents, he'd done tryouts, it didn't work, and then he did Bloodsport, which was kind of a wrestling MMA mixed event, and they pulled him from there without needing a third tryout. He was on NXT. He did great for a year. He was basically undefeated for a year. He won the main title on NXT, And traditionally what happens when you're signed to the main roster, which is Raw or SmackDown in WWE, is if you've got a belt, you drop the belt to the next rising star, and then you go off to the main roster and they sort of start their journey in the thick of it. That didn't happen for him. He pitched the idea of who should take the belt from him, but they went with a veteran wrestler in Samoa Joe instead. Didn't really fit quite right, and they just wanted to sign them straight up to the roster. And when they got to the roster, Scarlett got injured, chest injury, and because she was out injured, she could appear still on, she just couldn't wrestle. They pulled her from all of the WWE programming, no word about it, they weren't allowed to talk about it. And they completely changed Karrion Kross's gimmick. They made him wear a bicycle helmet. They made him wear suspenders. And the crowd didn't know what the fuck was going on. So naturally it didn't get over with the crowd. But then, of course, he got the blame for it and they got released. While they were planning their wedding, I should point out. So yeah, it's all the trials and tribulations that Karrion and his wife have gone through in the last 10 years, 15 years. And there appears to be a second book coming, because he says at the end, because this was written before they were released for the second time. So the book sort of finishes when they've just been re-signed by WWE. So he says, and what happens next? Well, that'll be in the next book. So I presume he's going to write another one. But yeah, he is so philosophical and so intelligent. It makes me angry on his behalf that their talents haven't been snatched up elsewhere. He could be a screenwriter. He could be in creative in WWE and come up with some better fucking storylines than whoever's there now. I mean, leading up to WrestleMania 40, everything was fantastic. But since then, it's all been a bit flat. There's been a lot of crap. Yeah. But Karrion Kross is a very, very deep individual. He's incredibly intelligent. Some of the affirmations that he gives you, there's no bullshit. There's no, if you do this, this will come. If you do this, this will come. It's very straight to the point. And he tells you what's worked for him. And he tells you how perhaps you can get this mindset that he's had and how to put it into practice and all of these things. It's a very, very good book. I gave it 5 stars. I was very much enamored with it. I recommend you have the audiobook rather than read the physical book, because it's read by Kevin. So you get it all in his style. And some of the one-liners or some of the interpretations of people, he does in Kross's voice. And it's very, very good and very funny. But yeah, please go check it out. Even if you don't like wrestling, this is a good book for you to read simply because of the life advice. Very good, very, very good. Probably the best autobiography I've listened to since Patrick Stewart's came out a few years ago. Yeah, 5 stars. Do go check it out.